Happy spooky season, everyone! I never really realized I was a Halloween adult until recently. I haven't gotten to celebrate it much in recent years, but I've begun to notice how much I'm drawn to the aesthetic and festivities. You've probably gathered from my avatar and channel theme that I generally enjoy lighthearted media that features witches, but I've also really been into ghost stories lately. And I'm happy to report that I've got one myself. If you can call it that. You'll see what I mean in a second. Let me set the scene here. I'm somewhere in my late teens, early 20s. I'm spending the night at my parents' house, and I've never had a ghost encounter. I'm up far too late like the insomniac I was, and I'm laying in bed watching TV when I hear... Now, again, I don't know if I believe in ghosts, but in that moment I sure as hell did. There was no shadow of a doubt in my mind that there was a ghost child in my parents' dining room, and I was scared shitless. As was the rest of my family. After being stunned in fear for about 2 minutes, my dad came out of my parents' room, and it felt like someone had untied a complex boating knot in my stomach. Oh, thank goodness someone else is awake. My dad, the brave soldier he is, went to go investigate the noise, which, if you watch scary movies, you know is how people get into trouble. I was pretty torn about how I felt about him going down there, because I wanted someone to find out what the sound was, and it wasn't gonna be me, but, on the other hand...
Better watch out, you better watch out, you better watch out, you better watch out.
So, it turns out I was right. There was a demon downstairs. That being the little demon that was my dog. Yeah, so apparently schnauzers have this crazy human-sounding howl, or ghostly-sounding if it's the middle of the night. My dog never howled, so we didn't know he was capable of making that sound, and when I found out it was him, I was relieved and simultaneously a little embarrassed. How stupid was I for assuming that the sound coming from downstairs was not the other living creature in our house, but instead a childlike spirit haunting us. My dog was the most vocal and volatile dog on the planet. If he heard so much as a car horn, a garage door, another dog barking, he'd lose his f***ing mind. So if Samara was just chillin' in the living room, there's no doubt we'd be hearing about it. My dog's name was Lobo, which means wolf in Spanish, so if I were him, I would certainly be upset that my howl didn't embody that of a wolf's. But he does have the moan of a ghostly entity, which is arguably more terrifying. Well, that concludes my non-ghost story. Happy Halloween, eat lots of candy, and if you think your house is haunted, check for schnauzers first.